And welcome back to Salt Lake City, Utah for the opening round. Actually, this is the women's semifinals here on Saturday. We call it Semifinal Saturday / Saturday Night Live as the women and the men play their finals action here for the WPH Simple Green Race for 8. My name is Dave Vincent alongside Anthony Celesto from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We have Tracy Davis from Tucson, Arizona, and Ashley Moeller. Here is the very first serve opening up this round of action. Ashley Moeller is one of my sparring partners down in Tucson, Arizona, Anthony, and she is working on some hop serves now, trying to institute that into her game. Tracy Davis is one of the greatest outdoor women's players of all time, and she's trying to make her mark in the four-wall court. She's already won a couple yellow jerseys in the four-wall court with the WPH, to include one that was presented to her this morning.
Very good rally to start the match off. Very impressed.
You heard the score from the referee, 0-0. A screen called right there from referee Jonathan Hingy. Now, the scoring format for the women here, just like the pro qualifiers, 1 game to 25, halftime at 15, win by 2, no rally scoring, and play all bad bounces. And then there's 3-minute timeouts at that 15-minute mark. Now, since Ashley served first to start this game, she will be retrieving serve
at 15.
After 15. So when we come back from that halftime, she will not be serving. It's a little different twist. Tracy Davis has that serve that Ashley's working on.
Low and powerful.
Low, powerful, fade into the left corner. So if you're catching it, it'll be right about on that side wall. That one that Tracy hit popped out a little bit, Anthony.
The fast courts are going to play into that, though. With her hitting the ball a little harder. That's how it was yesterday for a lot of the men.
That's a long ball, second serve. Now that's the serve that Ashley has got a lot of success on, is that power, sort of three-wall type serve. Again,
nice shot.
Ashley and I have a standing Monday match at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so we go down and play on Mondays. And
once a week?
Once a week.
Nice shot. I've never seen Tracy play, and I'm
really, yeah, no,
I've never seen her play, so it's pretty impressive to see.
She's a serve and first striker.
She liked to play up front, being a one-wall. Wasn't she from New York?
Right. She's trying to develop that back wall game, and we also had every Saturday mixed doubles, standing mixed doubles match, and there's a screen called from Jonathan Hingy there, but Tracy actually goes onto the court with some of the top instructors and will get advice, like Fred Lewis.
That's a great serve, Dave, catching that left corner deep, so Ashley has a tough time to return that.
The score is 3-0, Tracy serving here. Tough to get that ball.
Very nice retrieve by Ashley. Tough on that left wall with the glare into the glass, especially not playing on it.
One of the great things I'm seeing here is that there are a lot of local players out here watching the women pros play. It was nice to see the stands packed for both the Biddy Bittigan and Jennifer Hinman match that's going on in the adjacent court, plus this one here, packing the stands in Salt Lake City, Utah. 3-0. This is not rally scoring. It's the men's qualifier format. That ball hitting Tracy Davis around the revolving door, you kind of assume that's going to happen. Both Tracy and Ashley live in Tucson, Arizona, but very rarely play each other.
I was going to ask that question, do they play often? But you answered it for me, so thank you. How many wins has Tracy made on the tour?
She's had a couple pro stop wins.
0-3.
Ashley's had a couple really good matches, and Ashley has defeated Tracy before, so it has happened, and that's a beautiful right-handed punch fist. She doesn't do that with the open hand. She kind of developed that fist out on a 3-wall court, and she stays with it here in the 4-wall court. that ball might seem lazy to you, but she's putting a natural hook on it that's bringing it back toward that side wall. That's what she's been developing here. She also has one she'll sneak down the right.
She learned the natural hook from you?
Yeah, we've been working on it.
Good. It's a skip ball.
Now you can kind of see it there. It's not one that'll break 2 feet, but she can.
It's enough.
And I believe it's big as any other women's pro player I've ever seen. There's that one. She sneaks down the right. We've been talking about 2 solid points followed by 1 down the right.
Right.
Not 2 solid serves, but 2 solid points. You have to get 2 in a row on the right, on the left to go to the right. That's what we're working on back home. And you see she tried to sneak it in. Now she does serve that 1 down the right short the majority of the time, but her second serve is fairly good. Now Tracy and I also talk about this stuff too, and Tracy likes to stay up front. And so we've been working on a serve and shoot game up front, or the serve and first strike. And we have a little system that we play back home where the server can't leave the server's box. They have to serve, and then they have to put away in the next shot. And if they don't, it's a side out.
That's a very good learning technique or teaching technique.
Oh, Tracy loves it because it is sort of that one-wall mentality, but for her it works well because then she can stop the ball from going to the back wall where she doesn't feel that's her strong point.
Although, as we just saw, she did roll one out off the back wall, so she's developing that, as you see, which is
well,
good.
when she returns serve, she has 2 shots there as well. So why I go into the server's box, I give her my best serve. She returns it, I give her 1 more, and she has to put the next one away. And if not, I get a point no matter what happens.
Right. Nice.
And by putting away, it means any ball that I can't touch. And if I can touch it, even if I don't get it back to the front wall, it's a point. Or a side out for her. And watch this serve from Ashley. It's usually 2 to the left, 1 to the right.
Hold it.
Never has that ever happened
The blackout.
before on a live broadcast that somebody turned out the lights. That was a great serve, by the way.
Great serve.
Play 3 serving 5.
And they immediately turned the lights back on. I don't know who would have done that, but that was a great trick.
It's called the Houdini.
I've never seen it before, but we have
me neither.
We have a blackout here on court number 1. You're watching the WPH Simple Green Race for 8 live here in Utah, where we have the men's bottom bracket semifinals coming up a little later on as we have a little technical difficulties here on this court. Now, some of these courts will take up to 15 minutes for these lights to get back on, so we might have an extended break on the show court here. I don't know what happened inadvertently. Somebody at the front desk must have turned off the lights, so we are going to go into timeout mode and talk about what we're going to see a little later on today, which is men's semifinals at 10 o'clock Mountain Time here in Utah, where the bottom bracket will go up against each other. It'll be Nate Alvarado and Luis Moreno in that first match this morning at 10. That's 9 o'clock Pacific, which will be 12 o'clock Eastern Time. Nate Alvarado, who has not played a game since Atlanta Pro Stop because he injured a groin, is going up against Luis Moreno, who is the most dominant player this year on the Race for 8. He's also leading the pack. What do you see that Nadi will have to do to defeat Luis Moreno, who, by the way, is also a legend in this local area here?
You're absolutely right, Dave. And Luis is playing phenomenal. And as we saw yesterday, his ability to shoot and retrieve the balls, and it was unreal. He was able to get everything. And with Natty, what Natty has to do, I think, is keep the pressure on Luis. Because if Luis is pressured, I think it's going to keep him off balance just a little bit. And if Natty's able to shoot and make his shots and retrieve the balls, I think he might be able to hang in with Luis. Otherwise, it might be a quick game for Luis, because if Luis is playing how he was yesterday, he was playing very well. So
now, don't forget, in Atlanta, they did play in the finals there where it went tiebreaker. Previously to that, just a few weeks earlier in Fresno, California, it was Nadi Alvarado defeating Luis Moreno in 2 straight games. So we have seen certainly some rivalry there, but if you look at it before the season started, Luis Moreno has never defeated Nadi Alvarado. Now he's done it twice, and then Nadi came back, and I believe it was very important for Nadi to come back and defeat Luis Moreno in Fresno to show him that he still has the upper hand. Luis then came back and said, wait, hold on, old guy, who could be my father.
Right.
You aren't, you are about ready to pass that torch to me, and maybe I'm going to take it from you. And here they're matching up one more time in Salt Lake City. That's the bottom bracket semifinal between Luis Moreno from Tucson, Arizona, and Nate Alvarado from Spring Valley Lake, California. They're going to clash at 10 o'clock Mountain Time, 9 o'clock Pacific. Make sure that you get on to your favorite social network site, your email blasts and let people know to watch that live event right here at racefor8.com, brought to you by Simple Green. Mintech, TucsonRollingShutters.com, locally owned, nationally known. Tucson Rolling Shutters is one of the major sponsors of this Pro Tour, alongside Zions, the official scoreboard of the UFC, and the WPH, the official sports drink of the UFC there. And, of course, we want to thank First Star Sports. Ace Disposal, who is putting on the tournament. This is their event. It's the WPH Race for 8 and the Ace Tournament in Utah. Dewey Bail Bonds and Ace Outdoor Advertising, and all of the volunteers and sponsors that have helped make this event a true success. Now, as we turn the page and look at 11 o'clock this morning, 10 o'clock Pacific, it will be Sean Lenning versus Alan Garner. This is going to be a matchup. Alan Garner is not the same kid that we recall seeing at the 2009 World Handball Championships, where he was about 195 pounds. Now he's packing in about 220, 215. This is the heaviest I've seen Alan Garner. Yeah, he still plays good, but he's much heavier, and it's also the most weight I've seen on Sean Lenning, who told me the other day that he's at 220. Both of these guys over 6 feet tall, so they can put on that weight. How will that affect him in this high altitude, do you believe, when it comes down to the semifinals here?
Well, as we saw yesterday, Lenning played phenomenal. And I thought that he slowly, as the second game went on, he started to lose his more gettability, his chance to go after the balls. And I don't know necessarily, Garner, the first game he kind of struggled. Maybe the altitude kind of played a role in that, but then the second game he kind of took over and let his power take over. And I don't know if the weight's actually helping with his power, but it might be a hinder in the match today against Lenning.
You know, he always had that power even when he was 185 pounds,
yeah, right.
and now he's 220, and perhaps he has even more power. I believe that Alan Garner could get an upset today against the #1 player in the world. They do have a history. Alan Garner has only defeated Sean Lenning just maybe 1 or 2 times out of about 15 matchups. It's not been very good for Alan Garner or his camp when it comes to Sean Lenning. Now, Alan Garner is 9-1 versus Luis Moreno, though. And it's strange how players match up against each other. If you look at Alan Garner's game and you look at Sean Lenning's, they're very similar. Sean Lenning seems to get more of the headlines because the fans like his style of play, but Alan actually has that same sort of shoot from the hip, unorthodox sort of style that he can create offense from any portion of the court. We'll see how they match up today. That'll be at 11 o'clock Mountain Time, 10 o'clock Pacific, or just after 1 o'clock here on the East Coast, or there on the East Coast. Right now we're experiencing technical difficulties as court number 1, our show court, the lights are not turned on yet. As we look over here, the Ashley Moeller-Tracy Davis pro match is some reason the lights are off, and we don't know what happened here courtside as we look around looking for answers. At 15 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock, I thought those were the court lights, but that's an actual reflection. They have not turned the lights on yet in this show court. This is a kind of a strange occurrence for us, so it's an all blackout. We're going to take a quick timeout, and we'll be back in a couple minutes here in Salt Lake City, Utah, as we troubleshoot some of the power issues on our main court. It's Ashley Moeller and Tracy Davis on a blacked out court here, waiting, show court right in the gallery, waiting for the action to kick off and waiting for the lights to come back on. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a bit. Stick with us at racefor8.com. And we are back here in Salt Lake City, Utah for game number 1. It's the only game. It's a one-game match between Tracy Davis and Ashley Moeller. And we apologize because at the front desk here in the facility, the worker accidentally turned off this court light, which inadvertently put us into a blackout phase on the show court. And unfortunately for everybody at home watching, we were right in the middle of an Ashley Moeller serve.
Which might have been a point there.
I thought it was actually a good serve there. But Ashley Moeller is going to be in the server's box when these lights come back on completely. Now they're saying right now it's about 3 minutes or 2 minutes away from the kickoff. Players are now getting back in the court and warming up again. At the break, it was Ashley Moeller serving. This is the women's semifinals between Moeller and Tracy Davis. Now, of course, they could have played just back home in Tucson, Arizona, since they both played at the same club. Not had to travel a couple, you know, 1,000 miles.
Yeah, a couple miles, right?
That's only probably about 600 miles, but
it's nice. It's good for the sport of handball to see that not only males play the sport, that women also play the sport. So
and they play it good.
Good, absolutely. It's very competitive ball. So here we go.
Looks like we are back into the court here.
Okay, resuming play. Ashley serve. Score is 3, serving 5.
You heard the score right there from Jonathan Hingy, 3-5. Now you can see how that ball hooks.
Right, I like that, this angle for that serve.
Now what we're trying to work on with Ashley is to get her to go away from the center of the court and take one step toward the right wall. She's given herself a very small window. See how you can see that's one step off center?
What I noticed, Dave, on Ashley's serve, like you said, she's one step off center to the right, but when she serves, she'll step back towards the left wall.
Well, the problem is she started off in the center and she take one step back, which means that she's hitting a ball that goes around the revolving door because she doesn't leave the door open long enough. So she's taking one step out and it's actually giving her better results. Problem with her serve right now is that she's keeping it up too high and it's not, it needs to be more sharp.
It's a nice shot.
I told her don't be afraid of hitting a short ball on this first serve. You need to get the perfect serve.
Absolutely.
You need to hit short balls every other time you serve the ball. Then you go for your safe hop later. That's going to be a nice shot right there. Dug out from Ashley Moeller.
Side out.
Tracy Davis hits that ball on the ground. She has to be perfect on those if she wants to compete at the World Championship level. 4-6 is the score here.
Sounds like Tracy has a very good whip on the ball. Dave, for the first time seeing her play, it's pretty impressive.
Well, she has long arms, and she also recoils her wrist right before she hits, kind of like Sean Linning would. Not on that shot right there. That was an open hand paddle that just was ineffective off that side glass.
Do we have this score?
You came in with 5.
Referee and Tracy Davis talking about the score here.
I think she's claiming she had 7.
Coming in at 5, and then you got 1 point.
Tracy does not argue with the refs, by the way. This is
Score is 5, serving 6.
one very calm handball player.
Point.
Now we're all together at 6. She has great sportsmanship, and she should actually win sportsmanship awards.
6,
She
serving 6.
never argues. I find it very inspirational, actually.
That is, it's good to see out of players. I like to see that the ref is letting them play.
You like to see it unless you're in there.
Yeah, very true.
Not able to see the ball.
Right.
6, serving 6.
This is a good angle to watch Tracy's power serve.
Close.
She almost
Slid
sneaks
one
that
down
thing
the
in.
right.
Yep.
Second serve.
Tracy Davis, originally from New York. She's an implant to Tucson, Arizona. That was a close second serve.
Good hustle by Ashley.
Seven, serving 6.
There she tried to sneak one down the right, Dave. And Ashley was able to return it.
Side out.
And there's another side out. These are one-game
6-7.
matches to 25 using the men's qualifier format. At 15, there will be a 3-minute timeout. Either that or we can just turn the lights off again at 15.
Valid. Did you see that serve, Dave? That was a very good, powerful overhand serve, the 3-wall.
I tell her that I believe that that's her best serve. I think she should stick with this.
Especially coming down that left wall where it's that glare and you can't really see too well. So, very nice shot by her.
Side out.
Tracy actually pinned Ashley back. That's why I told
7
Ashley,
serve 7.
go for the more powerful hook serve that fades and try to get it over the short line by an inch, because if you miss, you've got that great second serve that I think is even
Might be
better than your first. Her first is very good if she can go low. She's been leaving them up too high past the dotted line.
8 serve 7.
That's why I say just go for the short, because
Absolutely.
when you do hit one, it's an ace.
Point.
Those are
Difficult.
tough, Dave. Very difficult when it comes off that back wall, real shallow. So you're forced to get
9
real far
serve
back
7.
there.
Tracy Davis at 9, Ashley Moeller at 7. Tracy Davis has had big game experience, and these cameras
Side
do
out.
not make her nervous whatsoever, even though she's been on them just a handful of times. Ashley's been on about 3
7 serve
times
9.
on a live broadcast. I'm sure she feels it just a little bit. The only thing Tracy's nervous about is just that she's not completely comfortable with a 4-wall court. Trying to play 4-wall exclusively in Tucson, Arizona. And then when we host tournaments in Tucson,
9
in
serve
1-wall tournaments, and though players come from out of town, she still dominates there as well. She's an amazing 1-wall player.
Side out.
Looks to both athletes here look to be pretty good at what they do. In general,
7
good
serve 9.
athletes. You know, excuse me. What I'm saying is, both look to be like they're very
7
good
serve.
athletes, other than handball. I don't know if either of them partake in any other events, but
1 screen.
got a very good rally going here, Dave.
Side out.
I feel that Ashley should have turned back and looked at Tracy on that
See what she
shot
was.
back there. She was too
9
far
serve 7.
from the front wall. 9-7 is the score. Tracy Davis wearing the white shirt.
Screen serve.
That ball almost hit her.
1 screen.
Tracy Davis is in great shape.
Side
She
out.
runs regularly in Tucson as she heads toward her mid-30s now. And she makes working out part of her daily regimen.
7 serves 9.
So when these matches go long or in overtime or extra innings, she invites it.
Absolutely.
Side out.
Not a very good shot right there from Ashley Moeller,
9 serves 7.
who's unable to locate her serve here, and Tracy seems to be more consistent with hers.
There she tried to
Side
sneak
out.
one down the right, and Ashley, nice, beautiful re-kill.
That's called the announcer's curse.
7 serves 9. Point.
Dave, you know, that serve didn't look to be too good, but it's a very difficult shot when that ball comes very
8 serves
deep
9.
into the right corner like that. It's tough to follow the ball around like that.
You immediately say to yourself, why don't I just turn left-handed and try to take that from a
Right.
different angle? We rely sometimes too much on our strong hands. See that Ashley's constantly keeping Tracy in the backcourt with those ceilings and upper court play. See who makes the first mistake here. They're both going up top. Looks like Ashley goes down first.
Nice hard fist down the right.
Side out.
Very nice volley there. Although not a lot of shooting.
No, they played up top on that one, and Ashley misses with her left hand. It's an unforced error. Tracy
9 serves 8.
serving at 9-8. At 15, there will be a 3-minute break. And Ashley Moeller fights that ball off with a fist and pokes it over to the right corner.
8 serves 9.
Wow. I did hear that last night at dinner. The top pro players were saying that the ball jumps off the back wall here. I can't quite explain it because they play on glass courts all the time, and why is this one as hard as concrete? It's like playing on a concrete back wall where you actually see that ball jump off that back wall, almost as if maybe it's not exactly straight. It might be leaning toward the gallery just a little bit, given a different pitch. As the ball hits it, actually comes up. I mean, it's just one explanation. I'm not quite sure why.
Well, what if it has to do with the elevation, the 4,363 feet we're at? Maybe it gives the ball a little bit more of a
possible.
Timeout, Ashley. That's your first.
It's a possibility. Ashley Moeller taking a timeout, with Tracy Davis now putting 10 up on the scoreboard. 10-8. The scoreboard is powered by Zients at Zients.com. That's XYIENCE.com. Zients is the official sports drink of the UFC.
It's just one game.
Official scoreboard of the WPH.
It's 25. It's the pro qualifier.
As the referee is explaining to the gallery the format to the fans that are watching Ashley Moeller and Tracy Davis square off here in the women's pro division. Later on, we're going to have Luis Moreno and Nate Alvarado face each other in the bottom bracket semifinal. Nate Alvarado comes in as the underdog, even though he did defeat Luis Moreno in Fresno. He lost to him in Atlanta, though. But certainly because since Atlanta, in that final there, Nate Alvarado pulled his groin and has not played one game of handball until this tournament started. And Luis Moreno just keeps rolling through his opponents. So it looks like if Nate were to defeat Luis Moreno, it'll be a great achievement here in Salt Lake City. And then the upper bracket is
score is 10 serving 8.
Sean Lenning versus Alan Garner, 10-8. Score here.
Point.
It's a tough shot by her. But like you said yesterday, if it catches that corner just right, it might take off a little faster, and that looks like what it did.
Replay.
We're going to play that one over. Tracy starting to pull away just a little bit here, even though there's only 2 points separating these two.
You see Tracy grabbing her bag. It must have stung when she hit her.
This is what Tracy's working on, is that up front play. Her left hand is a roundhouse left. Let's see who makes the first mistake. Looks like that was Tracy. And then Ashley makes a mistake with a hand air at the dotted line.
You got him on it.
12 serves 8.
Score is 12-8 in favor of
Point.
Tracy. Make that 13 now as she's starting to roll here.
That looked like a Vic Perez serve, catching that left
13
wall,
serves 8.
hooking it naturally into it.
Maybe she watched the broadcast.
Very nice play.
Tracy Davis just pokes that ball right down the right wall, and now it's half game point.
14 serves 8.
I don't know what you call it yet. We haven't quite figured out the terminology, but if she scores one more, we go into halftime, which will be a 3-minute break.
Half. Yep.
I want to say hello and happy birthday to future Hall of Famer who's inducted this year, John Bike, who's celebrating his 46th birthday today.
Happy birthday, John. Oh, very good choice by Ashley there.
John Bike at 46 today. Gave him a quick phone call at breakfast alongside Nate Alvarado, his brother-in-law.
8 serves 14.
called and woke him up because Pacific time is an hour back. And now there's another point there for Ashley Moeller after that side out. Now 9-14. She would love to get up to
double digits.
Yeah, at least 10, but 12, 13, even be the first to go into half. Probably make her feel pretty good. Good overhand left hand from Ashley Moeller. Nice dig. That was a miss hit from Tracy Davis, and a point now for Ashley Moeller, who's into double digits, now behind by 4 as opposed to 6.
10 serves 14.
10 serves 14. This is one game match at 25. You win by 2. Make that 11-14 and 3 straight points for Moeller. Davis not taking the time
11
out.
serves 14.
30 minutes from now will be the bottom bracket men's semifinals for the race for 8. Stick around for that and tell your friends. I like that underhand cut because that ball does some funny things on the back wall.
Absolutely. And like you said, the ball's jumping off the back wall, so it's only going to do some more weirder things.
Go side out.
You hear Ashley getting on her own self.
14 serves 11.
I've seen a lot of things in handball. There's a good serve right there from Tracy that takes it into halftime.
It's halftime.
So there will be a 3-minute break here.
3 minutes.
And we're going to take a break as well. But I was going to say, I've seen some strange things in my time. I've never seen a player that was retrieving or the return of serve, as Ashley was there on that last play, lean against the back wall as the server was serving.
Maybe a sign of fatigue.
Now I do that all the
you-
time, but I've never
that's
seen
a-
anybody else do it.
Well, actually, I don't know if she's. Oh, she played yesterday in doubles, but the elevation.
Well, I don't
here-
think it's. I don't think she's tired. I just
You
think
don't-
that was. Tracy does that serve that comes around that side wall that is going to feather the back wall. The serve that's a 2-wall clip, and I think you're just saying it's going to come back deep. If I step up, I'm going to have to run back anyway. I might as well just stay here and cut the angle off. Now we see on lob serves, and especially during the time of Tony Healy and Dave Chapman, where players will know that they're going to serve down the left, so they just walk over there and they kind of lean on the side wall and the back wall and just wait for it to come. We've seen that before multiple
But then they
times.
might trick you up and go right if you're leaning on the left.
You can, but it's good players can actually read into that. So anyway, we have a 3-minute break here. I don't know if you know how to pronounce good player or not. I don't know if that's in your vocabulary.
Good player.
Oh, you can say it then.
I think I can.
You can say
Absolutely.
it. We're going to have a break for about a minute and a half. We'll be right back here in Utah for the second half of Ashley Moeller and Tracy Davis. It's the women's semifinals. Live on the air at racefor8.com. Stick with us.
One minute. About 25 seconds. Okay, second half. Tracy's serve scores
Quick
15,
3 minutes.
serving 11.
It was a quick 3 minutes. We're back here at racefor8.com for the Simple Green WPH Aces Handball Tournament and Women's Pro event.
Side out.
There's a quick side out.
11 serving 15. Point.
Very good serve by Ashley there.
12 serves 15. Point.
You see Ashley's changing up her serve here, Dave, standing on the left, hitting a high right wall hit coming off the back and
13
catching that
serves
left
15.
wall. It's very difficult to see, follow that ball around off the glass back and then coming off into the glass left wall as well.
I think it's a great serve. I also love watching handball players change serves in the middle of a game because it shows that they've got
15 serves 13.
the mental capacity to do such. And I just let it look like it was short. I actually admire it because I can't do it. I have to stick with my game plan, and
Side out.
you'll never see me go to a lob serve in a match unless it's to start off a match because that's how I feel I want to start the
13
match.
serves
But
15.
I can't personally do it, and I see when other players do it, I go, wow, that is just amazing. Especially like yesterday when Vic Perez was playing Alan Garner and he goes to a lob serve. It's like this kid has got moxie
Absolutely.
to come do something like that.
Nice dig by Tracy there.
Side out.
Ashley just didn't look like she was in that play very well.
15 serves 13.
15 to 13. That's a short ball, no call. Players are just told to play through everything and let the referee call it. Did you see
That's
a
how it
short?
should be. Yeah, I was close. I don't know if it necessarily was, but I'm going to agree with the ref and just say it was good.
We don't have line judges, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't believe we do. She thought about cutting that ball off, Dave.
And she made the smart move right there. Now you can hear the referee
Asking
saying,
for line
13
judges.
serves 15.
yeah, referee's asking for line judges, which means he probably saw what I saw, which was
Just in case.
after the effect. It's kind of a strange mishit from Ashley, but it's successful. I've seen her do it multiple times.
Exactly right. I took the words right out of my mouth. That's a
Look at
tough
that.
shot, a fist shot. Too,
Look
Dave.
at
It's
that from Ashley.
Not even an open hand.
Just pop that with a fist into the corner. The great thing about
14
that is
serves
the
15.
ball's spinning the opposite way, so when it catches that side wall, it slows down. Checks up. Nice dig from Davis.
Tough
Side
corner
out.
shot.
Too many hand errors by Ashley
15
Moeller
serves
in this
14.
one, although she's only down by 1 point, 15 to 14.
Side out.
This match probably would have been over by now, but there was a lighting issue on the main court where
14 serves 15.
Blackout.
one of the workers accidentally turned off the court lights, and you know, if you've been around these facilities long enough, it takes 10 to 15 minutes for those lights to turn back on. Another point, we're all together at 15 here. I don't know how that, if anything, did it disrupt the players because they're
15 serves 15.
Right.
at that point it was 5 to 3, and now we're at
It's a great serve, Dave.
we're all together, so it's not like it's really affected them much.
16 serves 15.
Here's that very good serve coming off that left wall.
Ashley goes down the right on those normally. Her back wall is normally down the right. She doesn't use corners.
Side out.
Very tough shot.
15 serves 16.
Dave, that's a great shot. Open hand. That probably takes that from one wall. The open hand shovel.
16 serves 16. Side out.
You don't see a lot of young players learning that shovel shot early, but you do
16
see them
serves
later
16.
in their careers. Once you get to the 30s, they start trying those shots.
And developing new shots.
I see that with Tracy Davis.
Side out.
Lazy feet there by Ash.
16 serves 16.
We're all together at 16. Tracy Davis serving here on the show court, 15 minutes away from the men's semifinals.
Oh,
On the
Dave,
race for 8, and
beautiful.
a nice first strike from Tracy
Beautiful.
Davis.
That's what she wants. Serve and shoot.
17 serves 16.
That's a
Close
short
serve.
ball.
She keeps that ball
Second
pretty
serve.
close to her when she serves.
That's what you have to do with that type of serve she has. She's already got the angle,
out.
so the ball's going to hop just a little bit off of her natural spin and then fade toward that glass. And what she's trying to do is get rid of all of the
16,
offense
serve
from her
17.
opponent. Ashley has to try to keep that ball away from Tracy Davis's power, and really she just played that ball wrong. Could have come out toward the middle and taken it
17,
off the
serve
back
16.
wall on a revolving door.
Absolutely.
17 to 16. See how that serve is right there?
Great serve.
That's what Ashley is trying to work on, that one that hops over to the side wall.
Before it gets to the back.
18, serve 16.
Women, juniors, or pro men, that's a successful serve no matter
Second
who
serve.
you are, and you can learn from this. That's going to check up.
Yeah.
You can get by with that on certain players, but you're not going to feast off of that serve that
19, serve 16.
Tracy just gave. That's why I say it's a short ball.
Yep, I agree.
That's why I say you have to go and aim for the short line. Because
Setup.
if you go long on that, it's a
Right,
setup.
setup,
So you
right.
have to go short and have a really good
16,
second
serve
serve.
19.
Yep.
Now see, now Ashley's going to go back to it. See if she can keep her ball low.
That's not a bad serve though, Dave, either, because it's not revolving around the back door. Tough.
This is going to be tough. And it
Nice
is.
fist.
Timeout, Ashley. That's your second.
Tracy Davis will be serving at 19 to 16 during this timeout.
19,
You're watching the
16.
WPH Simple Green Race for 8 and Aces Handball Tournament in Salt Lake City, Utah. We're at 4,327 feet above sea level here, and some of the players are feeling the effects. You played in the qualifier. You're also in the Open and the Pro-Am and probably some other divisions I haven't listed yet, Anthony Celesto. But you certainly know about the altitude and what it does to your body. Can you explain it to somebody who's not played at altitude before what it does, or can you relate it to some other thing that you've gone through?
Well, it's like getting the wind knocked out of you and having it knocked out of you permanently. It feels like your lungs are completely full of air and you're gasping for that inch of air, even though you just can't breathe. It's tough. It's very difficult. And I was talking to a gentleman yesterday from here. He says it usually takes, for every 1,000
15
feet
seconds.
of altitude that you change, it takes a day for your body to adjust. And I don't know if, and to be honest with you, when he said that, my body, I kind of was like, well, you know, I do feel better than I did the last couple of days, but everyone, I'm sure, is affected differently. So, but it's very difficult to do.
Now what happens
19,
if you
serve 16.
you play at elevation and you go down to sea level?
You're a cat.
You adjusted 5 days before you left?
Oh, that's a good
I don't know.
shot.
I'm just using mathematics
Right.
and a little bit
You're
of
right.
science.
Science, yeah. Well, I'm not Bill Nye, so
20,
I
serve
don't know if I
16.
could give you the exact.
Almost as good looking as him, though.
Okay, good. Thank you. Oh, tough shot. Caught the ceiling, Dave, right before it went to the back wall, I believe.
And there is a point for Tracy Davis.
Twenty-one, serve 16.
Tracy 4 points away from advancing here.
Nice fist to the ceiling, especially coming off the left wall.
Just saw the great Fred Lewis, 6-time USHA four-wall singles champion, walk into the building. He's courtside wearing his Hall of Fame jersey, his jacket.
Oh, nice volley,
Point.
girls. Diving gets.
22, serve 16.
That's that strange sort of off the side of her fist shot from Ashley that's been going in.
Have you seen anything different from the
23,
first half
serve
of the game
16.
to this half of the game? From either player, or is it?
Just more hand errors from Ashley here as of late, and Tracy's not making any, and she's doing
Point.
that, coupled with
Very impressive.
some errors from Ashley Moeller, and now it's game point, match point.
Possible game point, serve 16.
Oh, and she slides it down the right to win
Point.
it.
And there it is. Tracy Davis defeats Ashley Moeller 25 to 16. and takes this round. We have the men's semifinals coming up right around the corner. Stick close for more action here at racefor8.com.
Be part of the first class. Get energized. Get outside.
Hold on, guys. It's gonna get bumpy.
And get moving. Experience the power of physical activity. Join the movement at ActionHeroAlliance.com.
So, what's it gonna be? We could ride bikes, skating, movies, zoo, whatever you guys want to do.
Can we just do this?
Yeah. We could just do this.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.